Let's fight. Let's fight. Very passionate. Let's fight, folks. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are good wherever you are. Great to see each and every one of you, wherever you're joining us from. Got to fight tonight, folks. The struggle is real. The struggle is real and it's going to get worse before it gets better. Good to see each and every one of you, whether you're joining us at home here in Guyana or you're joining us in the diaspora internationally. Welcome to each and every one of you. Welcome to our Twitter, folks. Twitterverse. Good to see you guys there. Fastbook. Yes, you're fast, man. So the fast people, Fastbook. Good night to you guys. And YouTube. Good night to YouTube. Good night to all of those who will be joining us via YouTube. Guys, we love how our YouTube channels are growing. We love how they're growing. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're joining us there. Sherry Duncan. All of my handles is at Sherry Duncan. Easy and simple for you guys. All of my handles where you can find me on social media. I know some of y'all fast. Y'all like follow people all over the place. So you understand. So wherever you're looking for me, all of my handles are at Sherry Duncan. So if you want me, for instance, on Instagram, you can get me on Instagram. No, I made it so simple for you. Follow the eye on Instagram. If you guys are on Instagram, if you guys are on Twitter, it's the same handle. If you guys are on YouTube, it's the same handle as well. I'd be so grateful for you guys to subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube again. On Instagram, click that follow button. If you're on Twitter, I'm there also. You can follow me on Twitter. Good to see each and every one of you guys. It is Pashway Monday. It is Pashway Monday, and we got plenty information to share with you guys. Plenty information to share with you guys. I hope we can get through all of it this evening. I have my notes, and I am ready to go, folks. Ready to go. All right. Hope you guys are good at your end. And we're going to be joined by a couple of folks this evening. I'm so privileged that folks would come into the ring and slug it out. Slug it out. All right. I want some of you guys out there as well on Thursday nights when we have the Talk Back Thursdays to come in, whether it's via, it's just by audio alone. Be good with that. If you want to come in via video, make sure you're dressed properly, you're put together and so forth. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear from you guys. Good to see each and every one of you out there this evening. Hope you guys are receiving us well. Good to see Nicola Jackson, and David Wood. Good to see David, Rose Chappelle, and Joan Newton, Dan Fordyce, all the regulars, Sandra Facey, June Chase. Good to see you guys. Good to see each and every one of you. Welcome in the ring. Look, folks, I was buying some lunch today in the city, and in the place I was buying the food from, a guy came up to me, and he all he whispered is, "Let's fight." Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Let's fight. Was on the East Coast over the weekend, at People's Parliament, meeting the people one-on-one there on the East Coast, and people want to fight. Let's fight. And a woman in the supermarket I met just this morning as well. Same thing. Who's in the ring tonight? That's what she asked. Big, well put together woman. Nice big lady. She said, "Who in the ring tonight?" Who fighting tonight? Guys, good to see each and every one. We are privileged that you guys chose to make us one of your stopping points on social media during the course of the day. And we're happy to be taking you from 8 to 9 o'clock tonight. It's Pashway, guys. It's not fight. Right? Pashway, you can get bite, you can get butt, you can get punch. Pashway tonight. Good to see each and every one of you guys, and I'm ready to get going. Guys, tag somebody. Share the live stream. By the time now you hear you've heard this by rote. The monotony. Share the live stream. Retweet, subscribe, share, retweet, subscribe. Good to have you guys. Hope you guys have had a good day. Let me say that myself. Let's cheer. Hope you guys have had a good day at work, at school, whatever it is you guys were doing during the course of the day. Hope you did it with integrity and with excellence. Anything we're doing is we're doing well, folks, and hope that you give it your best. And maybe another night we get a chance to talk about service in this country and how people don't even try anymore. The service in so many areas is so sloppy, so sloppy. Whatever's worth doing, folks, is worth doing well. And we hope that you guys give Caesar his pound of flesh today. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar, and render unto God what is God's. And folks, I want to get right into the hot topics this evening. Let me see if we are ready to go. All right, I'm too ready. We want to get into the hot topics, folks. And as I said, over the weekend we were on the East Coast. We were on the East Coast. The previous weekend as well, we were on the East Coast, and this is our people's parliament, folks. It is our people's parliament. We go and meet the folks one on one. You see the Baroque parliament, and I think that on crampy style. Think again. Think again. They can't cramp our style. We go meet the people face to face, and we had a good time over the weekend. High up on the East Coast, we were lower East Coast the previous weekend. High up on the East Coast, several villages, several communities, house by house, street by street, talking to the people there, talking to the people, letting them know that it's a struggle. No, everything is a struggle now. But we're going to be back in office. We're going to be back in office with your help. We are going to be back. What are you willing to give for the struggle? That is the question I've been asking folks. People call me all the time, inundate me all the time with information and ideas. Oh, this you must have in your show. You must talk about this and you must leave out that and don't call people names and all manner of things, right? This is what you guys should be doing. All kinds of strategies, and sometimes there's no strategy at all. But what are you willing to give for the struggle? Guys, we had the People's Parliament over the weekend. I think I'm going to call Mr. Norton and see if he wants to give us an update tonight and what transpired over the weekend there on the East Coast. Let me see if I can get Mr. Norton with us this evening. I just might be able to. Let me see if I can make that possible. I want to call Mr. Aubrey Norton. Phone call Aubrey Norton. Guys, you all think we are there yet? Phone call Aubrey Norton. Yes, we are there and more than there. Don't let me show off tonight. I got a little mango pelto. Let me see if Mr. Norton is going to pick up. Let me see if he's going to pick up. Mr. Norton, you're in the ring. A very good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good to have you. I know you were you led a team on the East Coast over the weekend. You had your People's Parliament all over the East Coast, higher East Coast, just as you did the previous weekend, perhaps lower East Coast. Tell us how that went, sir.
Well, first of all, it went well. We were able to distribute our pamphlets showing people what life was on the APNU AFC, that people on the East Coast had quality water. Places like Buxton had water. The government is now uh, shifting the water away from Buxton to Lusignan and other places. We believe everybody is entitled to water, but you can't do what they're doing. We also, on the walkabout, we got good feedback from people. Many of them told us that in some sections of Buxton, the PPP went, or the government went, and gave them ducklings, chicken, and things to mine. Um, we said to them, they said to us that they know what the government is doing. Um, they collected them, but their loyalty is still with us. And we encourage them to utilize whatever they got properly. Um, However, we told them that you cannot have a system based on handouts. We need a structured approach, like we were doing under the AP and UAFC, where we were using uh, sleds and a number of institutions to put our people in business, all the Guyanese people. But the government approach is one of bribery, and we spoke to them on how to handle that, which I wouldn't say here, but they are aware of how to handle it. They raised concerns about increased cost of living. Um, one person, one of the reports suggested that the government had promised that they will reduce VAT, but having reduced VAT, the cost of living went up, and somebody described it as zombie economics. So the we were in Enmore, we were in Mahika, Buxton, Beirut, Pleasance, Vigilance, where we had very good responses. In Vigilance, we were told that the PPP has a mandate that every week he gives out food stuff, handouts, etc. And we said to them, don't be bothered about that. Know where your commitment lies and just let us do our work. People there recommitted to supporting the APNU AFC. They were very thankful for the water pump, that they were getting quality water after years of not having any. And so they expressed their appreciation for that. So I would say basically um, the mood on the ground is one in which people are optimistic that we will return to government. People had the opportunity from our handouts and our discussions to compare what is happening under the installed regime and what happened under the AP and UAFC in the last 5 years. And many people are convinced that they were in a better position then. Um, One farmer pointed out that before 2015, they couldn't farm in Buxton. He reminded me, particularly when I was talking with him, that the PPP had grayed down and destroyed the fruit trees, etc. When the AP and UAFC came, they drained and irrigated the back. And so a lot of the villages along the East Coast that were neglected by the PPP, people are now farming and producing the products to sell. So it was a good walkabout. They said that they are a little dissatisfied that they don't see us with more regularity. We undertook to be as regular as we could with our limited resources, but generally it was a good outreach. Oh, we also um, dealt with COVID. We pointed out to them various elements, but we also suggest that the government's incompetence is manifest in their handling of COVID, since under them the situation has deteriorated. And while they do not want to take the measures to deal with COVID, the leadership of the PP is enjoying life and moving around, and many of them are even at sleeping, having a nice time after curfew hours. So those were essentially the things that were raised while we were there. Yes, it was.
I was say I don't think the public may have heard me there, but I was saying to Mr. Norton, I think all in all, the People's Parliament over the weekend, the outreach on the East Coast was a success. Mr. Norton,
Yeah.
where are the people asking us to go next?
Well, we have not completed the East Coast. So we'll be back. We'll be back on the East Coast in some other villages. But right now we have all around the country. People are requesting for us to go. The quarantine. We went to Linden. They want us to go back. Bartica is asking us. So all around the country. So we have to try and satisfy all those needs.
Excellent, excellent, Mr. Norton. Thanks very much again for spearheading this People's Parliament as we move about the country. And folks, you can feel free to let us know where you guys want to see us next. And definitely, we are going to come to you sooner rather than later. Thanks, Mr. Norton, for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me.
All right, sir. Have a great rest of the evening, folks. And there we have it from Mr. Norton on our outreach over the weekend, the People's Parliament. I want to shout out the folks at Haslington, Avenel, and all the other folks there who really made my meetings there a success, along with MP Ferguson, and it's Ferguson who was with me over the weekend. I was with her, and she was with me, and we had a great time with the folks on the ground there at Haslington. Folks, thanks again for coming out there, and to all the other meetings in the various communities that we have had. Folks, we want to ask you to share the live stream. You all know what you all got to do, so don't pretend like you don't know what you got to do. Share the live stream. We want to get back to the rest of our hot topics, and I think our colleague Randolph Krishna is going to be joining us in a little bit. But back to Pashway Monday, and folks, our hot topics. In international news, we picking up over the course of the last 24 hours. There was a military coup in the country of Mali. A military coup in the country of Mali, folks. Have you heard about that? A military coup in the country of Mali. And this comes just after, just a couple months ago, the army ousted one set of folks and put in another set. The army ousted one set of folks and put in another set. And now they're fed up with them already. Like all the people in this country fed up with the installed catfish government. The military in Mali wasn't having it, right? So they installed a couple of folks the other day, and now they oust them. I want to just read a piece of that, a Reuters article. It says military officers in Mali detained the president, the prime minister, and defense minister of the interim government on Monday, deepening political chaos. Just months after a military coup ousted the previous president, multiple sources told Reuters. Their detention followed the military ouster in August of the then administration. And guys, who knows what comes next in Mali? But the report says that hours after two members of the military lost their positions in a government reshuffle, the diplomatic and government sources said you had this fresh ouster of the president, prime minister, and others in the country of Mali. So, folks, we're going to keep you focused on that as we get more information. We're going to have more information on that for you guys. Moving on, as you know, so many instances we are seeing of PPP corruption, And the latest, folks, the latest is the scandal at Guy Oil. The latest is the scandal at Guy Oil. A little later on in the program, we are going to unpack the Guy Oil's, the GPL scandal, rather. The scandal at GPL. We've been dwelling so much in the Guy Oil scandal. It's right there, but the two are linked, believe it or not. And this fella is at the heart of it. This fella here. So we're going to talk a little more about the scandal at GPL a little later on in our program. But of course, it leads off our hot topics this evening. And of course, you know, we've been following, ladies and gentlemen, the puppet presidency. We've been following it ball by ball. And what a show it has been. It's not a government. It's a show. It's a show. We have been following it. You can, you're finally getting a chance to breathe. You understand me? Jack, you're like a mole in your front face. And we've been following it for you guys, step by step. You're like a mole. And we want to give you some instances. And you know we've been chronicling. Any international meeting or meeting of national importance, there is Jack Dio. Always there. He just there. He just there. Folks, share the live stream. Tag a friend of me. He just there. He ain't giving the Irfan a chance. Right? He ain't giving the iFlood scholar a chance. He there. He like a shadow. Right? The two of them like butter and bread. Like cement and water. He just there. He just there, folks. He ain't giving you a chance to breathe. He like a birthmark. Right? He like a birthmark. What story here? Over the weekend, Siamese twins. Boom. Boom. 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. We don't sit on girl. 12 o'clock. AM. Them men fishing. Right? Them men fishing. 12 o'clock. Last week in Jaguar press conference, he said things bad. He said things going up. Things are getting expensive. Them men got catch their own fish now. You see how things in this country going? Them men got catch their own fish now. Huh? If they catching their own fish and living in mansions, what happening to me, you? Them men got to catch their own fish now. That's how things bad in this country. Right? So when you think them men they're looking after state business, or them who got young wives, trying to do something productive, them men fishing. Folks, this picture looks familiar for some reason. Right? This picture, this puppet presidency, it looks familiar for some. I don't know why. I don't know why. It just looks familiar to me. I don't know. Like I see it somewhere before. I see this. I see this puppet show before somewhere. I'm thinking. I'm trying to cast my mind back to where I have seen this puppet show before. I don't know if anybody can help me. I've been looking all over. I don't know where I've seen this picture of this puppet presidency. I don't know where I've seen it. Somewhere. Maybe my colleague Randolph Crichilo can tell me. Maybe he has seen it.
Sharon, good night.
Good night, Randy. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm good. I wasn't privy to what you were discussing. I just joined the show, so if you can fill me in.
Well, I was talking about the puppet show that we have, and that the fact that Jack Young giving this man a breather. You understand me?
Sharon, somebody who asked if they went to catch cat. I really don't know. Gotta be catfish you're fishing for.
Right?
Got to be.
Jack, you need a cat.
And Sharon, there's a point.
Jack, you need a cat or a little dog or something. You understand me? He needs something for you to occupy time at these hours. Not because Randy, you remember when they just before they came into government, Edgil, right? The Fisher Bishop, everything for them got fish in it. The Fisher Bishop was talking about sleepless nights for public servants, but like the thing backfire because like these men don't sleep, huh? Like these men don't sleep. The good book said no rest for the wicked, so maybe it's that.
But there's something else to be said, Sharon, about the leadership or lack thereof from this administration. When we're talking about persons breaking COVID curfew and picking up people in buses and corralling them and carrying them to the station, they're outside during the curfew hours. What sort of example is being set? What sort of example is being set by these people? So I could pick myself up and go on midnight fishing apparently, because we apparently we don't have curfew in the country, and
no curfew, no restrictions.
Whether or not the law is for everybody, whether or not you're the president or whatever, there is something to be said about an example to be set.
Yeah.
Letting me stay in my house after 10:30. So I in my house so that you could go and midnight fish.
Well, remember last week, Priya said that they have a cure for COVID. So maybe it's in light of all of that. Restrictions are down. Protocols should not be followed, and you just go as you please. But there's a lot to be said about this. It's a very fishy situation, Randy. Very, very fishy situation.
To say the least.
Right? Somebody says not catfish is bundery. No, I trying to cast my mind back to what is bundery. Right? Oh, fish man, Jack, you get the man a breeding a man? Huh?
Yeah, but let's talk. Let's talk about that, because I don't know if we have the clip, but the prime minister. Well, I don't even know who is the prime minister. Where is do? Where is there? Where's his purpose? Anyhow, the fraudulent vice president sat down in front of the media people. I don't know why he's inviting the media, because you don't allow them to talk. He sat there and he talked for 2.5 hours. He rambled on about everything under the sun, right? Everything under the sun, right? And at the end of these ramblings, he said when Julia Johnson asked him about whether or not the GPL matter with the chairman and his conflict of interest with the company, right? He said, well, I don't really know what's in the cabinet because I just go to cabinet occasionally. Now, I want people to understand how significantly crazy that is.
Yeah.
How significantly ludicrous it is. This man just sat down. He just sat down for 2.5 hours to tell Guyana and tell the media houses about the plans and decisions.
The government.
Things that were supposed to be agreed on in cabinet.
Yeah.
And at the end say, I don't go to cabinet meeting really. So is you making these decisions? Because you come and tell me, you're the man that coming to tell me the decisions, you don't go to cabinet?
Yeah.
And couple that now with the fact that we haven't had cabinet.
Randy, you have to premise that on the fact that they have said, and Ali has said just before coming into government again, that he doesn't want a lazy government, doesn't want lazy ministers, doesn't want lazy administration. Let's take that, Randy, and then we're gonna come back on the other side. I'd be grateful if you mute your mic for me.
People will be held accountable to ensure there's no laziness around government. There is no space for laziness in government. It has to be highly energized, and this is what you will see.
Has the issue of the GPLC chairman of the board, the company buying vehicles from the company that he's CEO of, engaged cabinet in any way?
I don't know because I go to cabinet occasionally, so I don't really go all the time. So I may not know that one, but if it went to the discussion at the cabinet. But I saw what was in the public domain, and I saw the explanation from GPL that it was an open public tender. And this company, we have to get people who are skilled from the private sector to serve on these entities too. But if they all can't, by virtue of being in one of the entities, have their company do any business with, it's a policy position we have to take.
Microphone.
Randy, there you have it. He doesn't go often, so he know, right?
Can I unpack?
Attendance at cabinet should be compulsory unless you are on some state business someplace. So this thing, I don't go often and I don't really know. Then why the hell you having a press conference?
But hold on, Sharon. Let's unpack a few things here. Let's put the pieces together. We haven't had any post cabinet press briefings. So by all accounts, we can assume that cabinet meeting ain't happening.
Yeah.
Let's just assume that.
Yeah.
You're giving us no reason to believe that cabinet meetings are happening. So let's assume that no cabinet meetings are happening. But here comes the fraudulent vice president, sits down for 2.5 hours and everything that cabinet was supposed to decide on. So, and then at the end, he says, well, I don't go to cabinet.
Yeah.
So, who made these decisions?
Yeah.
You made these decisions to come and tell us it, and then tell me. So cabinet is a plaything. Irfan and them, the ministers, y'all play Dali House with cabinet. I making the decisions. I come to them and tell the media what's happening. This is utter madness. And if we shall unpack some more, Sharon.
Yeah. It is bizarre. It is bizarre, to hear this level of madness. Right? This level of madness that a person as senior as he is in the government, right? This is not, he said he originally, I don't want any role. He took a backseat on the Ramatar puppet show, right? But he was adamant here. He had a role to play and he was going to play it. He was going to go to cabinet. He was going to be a member of cabinet. He had to play a role. No, I don't go to cabinet, right? You know why you don't go to cabinet? Randy, he tired. He's sleeping all day at the age. If you're out all night catching fish, you're gonna tired. That's the problem. He tired all and he's sleeping, but getting big pay.
But Sharon, it would be remiss of us to skip past another issue in that same clip. That same clip, Julie, what's her name? Nazima Ragabir asked him whether or not the issue of GPL chairman okaying purchase from a company that he's also the manager of. The obvious conflict of interest there is right.
Yeah.
And that was the question. He said, he asked whether or not this matter engaged cabinet. Let's forget the fact that he said he didn't go to cabinet. He then went on to say that, look, well, it was an open tender, and we gotta get people from these private companies, and if they can't do business with the companies that they are chair of, this man, I want people to understand, went on to try to justify that level of conflict of interest and corruption.
Randy, I want us to come back there because there's another scandal that is brewing at GPL. I want us to deal with substantively. So I want us to come back there. And as we're there, folks, I'm joined this evening by my colleague Randolph Critchlow. Ringsiders, we're going to invite you guys to share the live stream. But as we move along, Randy, I wanted to show again the duplicity in this fella, this jagabat named Jack Dio. Right, the duplicity, because it seems that we have several kinds of laws. It seems as though when one company break the law, they get shipped overseas, they're in the personnel. And when another company breaks the law, oh, it's development, so we got to see past the illegality of their actions, right? I want us to take a listen to this, Randy. From that same bizarre press conference where you don't really go to cabinet, but you know everything. You understand me? You know all the decisions, but you don't really go to cabinet. Right?
No cabinet meeting no happen. No cabinet meeting no happen. He's the cabinet.
Yeah. He's a cabinet.
He's the cover, the cabinet, everything.
He's a draw, he's a cabinet. So let's take a listen to this, Randy, and we'll come back on the other side.
This thing about the cement plant, those people are gone. He had apparently gotten ahead of, like any project, the GRA and Go Invest will process some concessions for you, but you have to, that means provided you're acting lawfully. So they have put a hold on all of that. The welcome in Guyana, that is the owner and the people, but not these two people who believe that they can disparage our country and act illegally here. They're not welcome here.
Okay. There hasn't been much of a debate on allowance for development and all of that. I think the key issue with the mangrove project is that the company went ahead and cleared the mangrove with, although they were told
but people, I agree that people have to follow the rules everywhere, but you know, but the point, people have to follow rules. It's a rule-based country, and we're happy, really. But the point about the development,
on that same issue of developing, what do government plans to do to ensure that investors adhere to environmental best practices and going forward, especially since you're going to develop the riverfront?
Sure, but they all have to, that's why I'm saying follow the rules. They have to follow the rules. But I don't think this was just a rule-based thing. This thing about the cement plant, those people
and so you follow the rules,
gone.
Right? But when it's your friends, you follow the rules, Randy, but when it's your friends, you you go fishing midnight. You see these fishes? You see this fish?
You know, Sharon, many persons mightn't get, you know, the connection there. There is allegedly a connection between it. I think it's TriStar, the company, that is developing that plot of land there and destroying the mangrove. There's a connection between that company and very high officials in the PPP.
Yes.
So when asked about the destruction of the mangrove, we proffer a justification, and we stammer and we stumble through the question. But when you're talking about the cement company, you know, you follow the rules. You gotta get out the place. You gotta move.
Yeah.
But when a company that's associated, a company that allegedly has very, very close ties to the PPP, destroying the mangroves, you're stuttering.
Different strokes for different folks.
Different strokes.
Different strokes for different folks, Randy. And that is why we are seeing the kind of knee-jerk reaction to so many issues. That is why, for instance, we are where we are on COVID.
Yeah.
Right? Because COVID got 3 ministers, advisors, then it got Jagdio, then it got Irfan, it got so many actors. We ain't going no places, just more deaths and more confirmed cases of COVID-19 positive in the place every day for the same reason.
Yeah.
Randy, for the exact same reason. But folks, pushing on from our hot topics, pushing on from your hot topics, people aren't taking nonsense. People are not taking nonsense in this country, and I want to show you how people are pushing back against the PPP and their nonsense. Because here is a pass to show in a place called Akawini, where the PPP, where the Tushau's council got the authority to say who they want, for instance, to be these community advancement workers.
Mm-hmm.
The remit is with the Tushau council, the village council. And now Darren Lal, through Jagdio and these Jagabats, right, these catfish people, want to install their own people in these positions to get the little money and to do the corrupt activities in the community enhancement workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to bypass the council, but the people are not having it. So here is this Tushau in Akawini pushing back against these Jagabats.
The minister, did he realize at that day that the community were managing by a village council? Did he think in any sense to contact the village council as he was contacted by the honorable minister? On the Saturday, the honorable minister, visit this community to distribute hampers. There was a meeting with a few villagers at Baracaro. There was a position that was given to any villager to ask him any question. As a Tushau, I took that bench close to him so that they could have sit in front of him and ask him that question. Not one villager got up. Being the Tushau, I have asked him that what happened to our enhancement workers in St. Monica, Kabakaburi, and the rest of the village has enhancement worker. What happened to Akawini? I tell you what, there and then the honorable minister said, employ 10 persons. I could not have done it because it was a Sunday. Fortunately or unfortunately, there were councillors at that same distribution of hampers. I've talked to a few of them. Later on, I made contact with them to say, who are the persons you would think should go on that list? That list was submitted the next day. That would have been Monday. It wasn't recognized because the minister, I have my phone here, who sends me a WhatsApp to say that, Tushau, I need a list from the village council. You hear me? A village council. I then came to the village council and I asked the village council to write a letter to the honorable minister, carbon copy it to all other entities, and state the name of these enhancement workers that we, the village council, not Mr. Brian, or any other political activist, or anybody else from the region, the village council, has strongly recommended. I'll tell you why we recommend them. During the time of no payment, we could have found some people who were community-minded, hard worker, come out and do their service and dedicate their work towards getting the compound clean. They were not being paid. But now money is being paid. We thought that these are the right people because they give their service voluntarily. And as a village council, we look out for them. I wonder, I am still at the wonder seat, whether Mr. Bryan had ever consulted the village council before actually commence of work. And so what I'm seeing here, and
Randy, I'm at the wonder seat myself, my brother. Right? Right? I love when people put these things in these colloquial ways because you get it. I'm at a wonder seat. You understand me? The people are pushing back, whether it's indigenous people, whether it's people on the East Coast, whether it's people in Linden, whether it's people in Region 3, Region 4, 5, 6, 8, 7. The people are pushing back because they had 5 years when they did not see this strong arm of government, much more an installed regime. Randy?
No, and if you can remember, Sharon, the similar things happened in region number 7 when the minister tried to impose his will on the CDC. And persons protested. I keep saying this. And for example, the CDC is not even a government thing. It's not regulated by the minister or the ministry. That's a community-based thing. Anybody can jump up and start a CDC. But they wanted to impose their will on that CDC. And I say this, Sharon, the PPP's attempt to take away local democracy from the people will be their downfall. Because people over the last 5 years enjoyed and understood and they got a sense of what self-governance is about and local democracy and how I can help my community. And you can just come in like a bajan, according to the people in the colloquial term, and take that power from me. When
Randy, the people aren't having it. They aren't having it. And, you know, when the PPP were in 2015, prior to 2015, I don't think social media was so prevalent, but with the advancement in social media, people always get a phone ready, and they are not thinking in this regard. They are not thinking it in this regard. They want to go back to pre-2015 so badly. They brought back all the old youth style, Sammy and Barry and Priya and Frank, a whole set of youth style, right? How you're talking there? He's another old youth style. He should be in some geriatric home because he can't keep his eye open for cabinet meeting. You would expect that from Roger Lunchan. Me expecting that from Jack Leo. You understand me? But this is what is happening, and the people are pushing back time after time. You understand? Because they tasted freedom of thought, freedom of mind, freedom to make your own decisions at the community level. That is what operated under the David Granger APNU AFC-led administration. The RDCs, the village councils, the NDCs, the NDCs, the local government structure on the whole was allowed to flourish on its own. And given the fertilizer in form of the finance, you understand me, to flourish. But now it's bare madness. Randy, I'm hastening to discuss GPL, but before we get there, I want to show you what happened at this Elmore medical facility, where the administrators there locked the people out at Elmore. Now, I don't care if it's Elmore, I don't care if it's Linden, I don't care if it's Bad Settlement. As long as wrong is being done, I come in for fight you. You understand me? I come in to fight you for the people as long as wrong is being done. I don't care where it is. So this is what happened at Elmore quite recently, Randy, and we're gonna take some comments on the other side.
It gets cold out there. Right now, people get corona.
We got smile up in famous because we got on TV. We got on TV, we smile up in famous. When you buy the most like security decision, it's the head doctor in the stadium. When you go and try to hold on your parent, then you know it's like the head doctor, not the security can sell.
Yes, Daddy, but rain falling.
It's the head doctor.
They got people in wheelchair, rain falling. That doctor, who doctor, rain falling.
Them are human beings just like we.
You can't get the people out there, get people sick. Yes, rain falling, you can't let the people out there. You don't know who's strong and who's They got people with wheelchair out there. What is fair, buddy? You can't get people out there.
Randy, have you ever seen anything like that?
I'm trying to find words, Sherrod, to.
Have you ever seen anything like that? These are people who have served their country in some capacity. They are old people, aged people. And the guy says, not me.
The head doctor.
Right? Jack Jordan fishing is the head doctor. Is another fish that he stinking up. The head doctor. Right? I mean, common sense head doctor. I know if is it the chief doctor or is a head doctor. Because that doctor, something wrong, the doctor head. Something wrong upstairs. You understand me? You could see those big people out there and leave them in that rain. My God. My God.
I am trying to find the words, Sherrod, to try to figure out why
fish, man.
are people standing out there?
Is what this country come to in 9 short months, boy?
Yeah, but you see, you know, I like to put the things together. You look at that there in Enmore, you look at what has been going on in Linden, you look at what's going on at Diamond Hospital, you look at what's going on all the health centers around the country. And you can tell me that Frank can sit down at the head of the Brick Dam comfortably and believe that he's doing a good job. He and the 2 advisors who are also ministers, the 3 ministers could sit down there and pretend that they're doing a good job. You know, this is the sort of thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
Linden Hospital, the nurses can't get simple aspirin.
Yep.
Can't get simple bandage. You can't get simple things in the hospital. And where is Frank?
Yeah. Missing in action. Missing in action. Randy, I want us to unpack this scandal happening at GPL before we go this evening, because I noticed we're coming down to program time very, 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 very quickly. And we were talking early on about some of what it was overlooked, right? He knows about everything else, Jack Dio, that happening at cabinet, even though he ain't going. But when it comes to GPL and the chairman, who buying vehicles from his own company, I don't know if it was discussed. Because they are his friends, like the man over the river that mowing down the mangroves, right? And it is illegal to do so. It's his friends, so you see past the illegality. Same thing with Morris Gachadar there, the chairman. Now you got this jackabat, right? Samaru Retinal, I think that is his name, right? Samaru there, the deputy CEO at GPL, Randy. And this man, from what the workers are seeing there, is incompetent, like Frank, right? Like Todd, incompetent.
Well, this is nothing strange, sir. GPL is being run by a bunch of incompetent people. They have rehired Dindial, $6 million man who was fired for his incompetence.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about the deputy CEO. Same thing. Listen, at this point in time, we have become accustomed to the people's incompetence and corruption. And it's the same incompetence that breeds the corruption. It breeds
look what is happening on that same point, Randy, that is the incompetence that breeds the corruption. Suddenly, the procurement manager was sent on leave. He has decided he's going to act as procurement manager. And in the procurement department, there was somebody who was recently hired as a junior staff. They were now put over senior persons in the department to supervise. Don't look like skullduggery to you? And he acting as the acting procurement manager. He acting as the manager. He acting as the procurement manager. You bring a junior staff over other people. And I was made to understand this is happening at Georgetown Public Hospital also. So I want to know from the people if this is happening at an institution that you might be at, a government entity that you might be at, where you got junior people, unqualified, employed, and who suddenly come to supervise career people, professionals, and qualified professionals.
Sherrod, that has been the modus operandi of the PPP, right? We know what happened at public security. We know what happened with the PS there. The very qualified people who were let go to bring people with a diploma in accounting. We know this. This is a pattern. It is part of the PPP's entire model that I call the economics of corruption.
Yeah.
And go through. Guy, look at the million, $20-something million scandal with Guy that was unearthed today. We know what's going on at Guy Oil.
Yeah.
Corruption running rampant.
Randy, this is the link. Randy, this is a link because it was this fella, Samaru Retina, who deviated, who orchestrated the deviation from the company that GPL usually buys fuel from, right? For this one-off fuel supply from Guy Oil. It is him.
Wow.
Right? So the company that GPL buys oil from is called Statstuli. Right? And this deputy CEO of strategic operations, Mr. Samaru Retinal, right? He went and organized this word of mouth arrangement with Guy Oil for this new player to come and bring oil for GPL, fuel for GPL in the form of Aaron's Royalty Inc.
Yeah.
Right? And now you have all of this. It is him. This is the fellow who orchestrated that. Right? And I am made to understand that to date, the board, legally constituted, has not asked him why he deviated from the standard operation procedure and using the company that is established to be used. Right? Yeah. He has not answered that. In addition to that, we were made to understand that even the fuel quality, right? And what is called let me get the correct verbiage here. They said that he has also, let me make sure I get it, made changes to the HFO fuel tender, the fuel quality, and that is what they called foolhardy and incompetent. Right? So when you put Morris now doing the own thing with the company, buying from your own company, you put he in the mix and the others jagabats there at GPL. You understand? You understand why the fellow there at Kaito News, right? Said fuel got more money than cocaine, right? Fuel smuggling and so on got more money than cocaine. You understand why he said that? Glenn, that? Huh? Because they said, look at him there. You look at them and you think they're people, but you know that they are digging out the eyes of the citizens and the taxpayers and stabbing them in the backs.
Yep. Yep.
And as we get more information, Randy, we're going to make more information public. So he is now rearranging the procurement department to suit he and his friends, right? He is now bringing junior staff to supervise senior professionals at GPL. And then we hear now he is fiddling with the HFO fuel tender. And what does GPL say to this? This is the PPP government. Same old PPP, Randy. Same old PPP.
And I bet you that Jagdio, he know about it because he don't go to cabinet. And whether it reach cabinet or not, they are going to defend these people because these are their friends. These are the persons they put in place. Make no bones about it, Guyano. As we look at the connection between all of these scandals being unearthed over the last 295 days, whether it be Gaiwa, GPL, Guy Oil, Georgetown Hospital, Guy Suko, it all forms part of their doing.
The modus operandi, the quality of their leadership, the quality of their management, and it is absolutely poor.
Right,
absolutely poor.
That is what you get when you put in competent people in positions. People who are prone to corruption. It will breed more corruption.
And liars and thieves. Onage Waldron stood in the National Assembly and lied to the nation. She's still there. The court, the High Court said the other two are sitting there illegally, right? Sarah Brown and Vikash sitting there illegally. You understand me? You have all of that to the mix. My God, it's 9 months. Imagine if you get them 5 years. We'll be there. Full narco state, Randy.
It will not be the last, Sharon. It will not be the last.
Full narco state. So we continue to watch, right, and report. And as the people, the staff there, give us information, we will make it public. I have a duty, not only as a citizen, but as a parliamentarian, to bring it to the public domain. And we're going to continue to do that. Randy, are we out of time? We didn't even get to unpack, for instance, on issues like we saw an implosion happening there with Anuk. Right? Anuk had a member who was part and parcel of all of this, sat on the guide board there and was scheming and hustling himself, or perhaps hustling for Anuk. We didn't get a chance
I saw that when I see Mr. Henry Jeffrey, Dr. Henry Jeffrey, I think he decided that this Hindenburg going down a little too fast. I don't know if he associated with them anymore. Where is Jonas?
Yeah.
Where is Timothy?
Yeah.
What is he to say?
Yeah.
These are the defenders of democracy,
So the guy in the middle there was the one on the guy board, Akani Blair, right? Who wanted kickbacks for himself and Anug, right? He wanted kickback for himself and Anug, party for function. So do what you gotta do. And now you have this fellow to our right, immediate left, right? Who has said that he gone. He did with this madness. He said, I tired Guardian. Right? Who watching the Guardians? Who carrying the Guardians?
Sure. Chenya Chibe's book, Things Fall Apart. When I was at university doing English, we did that book, Things Fall Apart.
Beautiful book.
It looks like things are falling apart. Are these Guardians? They're I want to know where are these? Where is what is Ross saying?
And that line is from a poem by William Butler Yeats. Things fall apart that the center cannot hold. Right? That's what the poem says. Things fall apart that the center cannot hold. There's another line there, and then it says anarchy is loosed upon the world. That is who the PPP is, anarchy. And we didn't even have a chance to unpack on Giftland. We didn't have a chance to unpack on Giftland. But folks, you understand, we're constrained for time. So much to discuss because the people in power every day is bizarre, like when Trump went in the White House. That's what happened here with the PPP. Every day is bizarre. We had a chance to unpack. Right? Yep. But we want to thank all of you guys for joining us. Randy, any closing thoughts?
As I said, I've said long ago, Sharon, we will see the massive corruption we're seeing now, it was going to happen under the PPP. We've just got to keep our feet to the ground. We've got to keep their feet to the fire. We've got to do like you said. Whenever they're doing wrong, expose it. Expose it. I mean, I don't know if you spoke about the crime situation tonight, but it is spiraling out of the control.
We had a chance to unpack all of that with the U.S. Embassy now telling their citizens, don't bother with these people here. Crime plenty, buddy.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean,
PPP come back, and the PPP come back. All of this goes with having the PPP back, right? And if you don't like it, when you go to the ballot box, express your disgust.
That'll be the final answer.
Yeah, folks, thanks for joining us this evening.
These issues. I mean, we run out of time. I know that Mark Bench Cup show is about to start.
Yes, and we want to commend that program to our viewers as soon as we sign off. Folks, thanks for joining us this evening. Continue to wear your mask, social distance, sanitize, practice all of the other protocols. Don't be like Jagdio and Irfan. You're gone fishing at 12 o'clock, breaking curfew. Don't follow them. You're social distancing and all those things. Right? Let us truly be a people who are law-abiding. So, folks, until tomorrow, see you guys. Randy, thanks for joining us this evening and unpacking these videos. Stay safe, guys, and share the live stream. Good.